Hello and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for Fantasy Premier League content for the 2021-22 season. My name is Dan and today we are doing a Game Week 11 deadline stream, a Friday deadline of course today, which is all very exciting and interesting. It's always nice to do a nice evening stream rather than a morning stream on those Saturday deadlines, but yeah, it's all good in the hood. I know a lot of you guys have got some severe benching headaches. You know, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I had a couple of benching questions myself, but we are going to come to that. I'm sure a few of you regular viewers will know exactly how we're going to resolve some of our bench problems. I think you'll know by now. So, you know, shout out to those of you who are appreciators of the bench list. It's coming. It's coming. I've made it. It is coming. I've updated the graphics on it as well. So, yeah, we'll have a look at that in a minute. And hopefully that's going to just solve all of your bench-related questions, which I'm sure is just going to be all of your questions as it is every week. So yeah, I do like the bench list a lot, but we'll come to that in a second. I know a few of you guys have already put in the chat, well, asking me who you should captain. Well, you're really going to struggle to convince me to tell you anything other than Mo Salah. I'm going to be captaining Mo Salah. I'm not going to be recommending any other player really this game week. If you want my blessing to captain someone whose name is not Mo Salah, you're not going to get my blessing. But if you fancy a differential, you fancy going for a different captain, then that is completely on you, I'm afraid, guys. Completely on you. So first of all, let's say hello to a few members. Let's see who is in the chat. The members of today. We've got Jeremy is in here, Dan Cross, FPL Phillips Eddie, James Craig, Einar is here, Emiliana, Count Sealor. What's up, guys? Hope you're all doing really, really well. Hope you're really excited for another epic weekend of Fantasy Premier League. I certainly am. I mean, I have to tell you guys, I'm really nervous this week. This is the most nervous I've ever been going into a game week, because obviously the rank 84th in the world is quite significant, and I know that the smallest of mistakes is going to drop me down to, you know, like 1,000th or 2,000th or something like that. On the other hand, if I do something really well somehow and make some kind of ingenious decision, which there's not really too many decisions to be made, but if there was to be one, then then maybe I'll move up in the table as well. I think for the rest of the season, really, for me, it's just going to be about maintaining roughly my place and trying to close the gap on first place. I do want to win FPL. Obviously, we've got a long journey ahead for winning FPL, but it's certainly possible, which is something I never thought I'd be saying before. But there we go. True Fandela is coming in with the super chat saying bench Livramento or Duffy. You've made a mistake here. You've wasted a super chat, my friend, because one, you can see on screen already that I have benched Livramento and I'm playing Duffy. So that's what I'm doing. But also, we are going to get the bench list up in a few seconds. So that's hopefully going to answer a lot of the bench-related questions as well. But since a lot of you guys are asking for me to get the bench list out, I think we'll just leave my team just for the minute. I've not made my transfer yet, by the way, guys, which I do need to do. We'll do that at some point during this stream. But we are going to have a look at the bench list, because that's what you're all here for. It's what you're all here for, the bench list. So let's get it up. Let's get her up. Here we go. So, for those of you who are new viewers of this streams, this is the bench list, the bench dilemma help. And basically, I've made a list whereby the higher your bench dilemma player is on this list, the more you should prioritize playing them. So if, say, you've got 2 players on this list, we'll just pick the 2 players on the list, for example. Say you're not sure who to bench out of Jimenez and Smith Rowe. Well, since I've put Jimenez higher on the list than Smith Rowe, that means that you should play Jimenez and bench Smith Rowe. That is just a very quick example there, but yeah, hopefully, if you've got a few players on this list and you're not sure how to order them, hopefully that is going to really help you out and answer a lot of your questions that you have in the stream typically, because a lot of the questions are usually bench this player, bench that player kind of thing. So yeah, hopefully we can just do that all at once rather than having to go through all of the dilemmas individually. Susmit Gosh has said on the chat, he's asked for bench help. Wait for the bench list, guys, and then you can put in your super chats. I really don't want you guys to waste your money, but I do appreciate it. Duffy, Livramento, Antonio, Jesus, Vardy, Smith Rowe, Gallagher. Which 2 of these do I bench? Well, if we look through the list, we've got, well, Jesus, VAR, and Vardy are not even on the list, so I wouldn't even put them on the list because you should be playing those players. But yeah, Antonio's high on the list as well. So if we look at this list, if you had to bench 2 players, that would be Duffy and Livramento. So there you go. Those are the 2 players. Both of those players feature fairly low down on the list. You can see them down here. Pretty averagely on the list. So that kind of suggests that I probably would bench those over some of the players who are higher on the list. And it's gonna help you a little bit. And I can see more people putting in those questions. A lot of people saying Livramento or Antonio. I put Antonio pretty high, actually. Honestly, I don't really... I'm really not sure about... I'm really not completely sure about benching Antonio at all. I don't really like it, to be honest. But I read it wrong. Iheanacho or Duffy? Oh, okay. Oh, that's slightly tougher. Oh no, sorry. If I've read that wrong, haven't I? Iheanacho, I would play. I would play Iheanacho ahead of Duffy. Back the attacker on that one. Someone said Mount here. Play Livramento or Mount. Well, Mount's not even going to be available, so we can put Mount. I am going to add Mason Mount to the bench list. And we could probably do with, if we're going to add players, we could probably do with shrinking this a little bit. So if we just shrink. And then we could start fitting on a few more players on that list if you guys want me to add any. But Mount, yep, he's injured. He's not going to be available for this game week. So he would therefore be bottom of the list and arguably a player you should be selling, to be fair. So yeah, maybe that helps with some transfer decisions as well. What about Mbumo? Yeah, Mbumo, I'm actually, if you really want to have me put Mbumo here, then that's fine. But I will put him literally at the top of the list. Any more people you feel like I'm missing, do let me know. Edward, again, these are the kind of players that are hard to... people are saying like Vardy. Okay, Vardy is even higher than Mbumo. You put Vardy right at the top of the list there. Yeah, so typically the players that I feel are really obvious that you should be playing, I won't put on the list. But if you feel like there's a few of you who are genuinely not too sure about who you should play, and you really think Vardy is a bench dilemma player, I really don't think he is, then fair enough, he goes on the list. But typically, out of the premium players, you should just be playing them every single week. It shouldn't really be too much of a question. Obviously, there are some players like, maybe people are wondering about like Jimenez, Antonio, Cancelo, Rafinha, maybe players like that. Then I kind of do understand why you would maybe have a little bit of confusion around there. But people asking for, who else are you guys asking for? Azpilicueta. Oh, Azpilicueta. That's an interesting one. Where would I put Azpilicueta? Probably around here, because the good thing about Azpilicueta is that he's probably not going to get a 1-pointer. If he goes on the bench, he stays on the bench. I've completely spelled it incorrectly. There we go. So something like that. Can I add Kane? No, I'm not going to add Kane. If you have Kane, play him, for heaven's sake. Honestly, some of you guys, I swear, sometimes you're just having me on. If you've got Harry Kane, if you've got Vardy, you've got, what you want me to put Salah on the list? Come on, obviously, you play these players. Paredes, thank you very much for becoming a member of the channel. I did also want to say that, guys, if you are members of the channel, there are 2 new emojis that I have added. A couple of people asking for Grealish. Interesting. Okay, we can put Grealish on there. I don't think I'd put Grealish too high, to be honest. In fact, I would... you know what? I put Grealish pretty low. I'd probably put Grealish down here, which is kind of interesting. Not really a player I'm too interested in. Jota, again, he'll be pretty high. You'll put Jota maybe... Put Jota maybe there. I'll put the normal ones. Rashford, yeah, no, you got to play Rashford if you got him. Polizwork, thank you for the super chat. He says, I have Trent James. Oh, hang on, I've lost it. I have Trent James, Diaz with 2 free transfers. Drop Diaz, not starting for Reguilon, and next week Rafinha or Diaz to Chilwell this week. It depends if you want to restructure or not. If you've got 2 free transfers already, then you do need to use one of them, don't you? I'm still not sure about Reguilon. I do want to see how Spurs get on a little bit before we start committing to those kind of players. But I do like the look of the moves you're thinking of making next week, to be honest. I do like the look of those moves a lot. So yeah, potentially that's something you'd want to do. Maybe drop Diaz down to a slightly cheaper player. I mean, maybe Reguilon is your guy. Yeah, okay, yeah, you could do that. It's not too bad. Okay, so FPL Phillips has discovered the Reece James emoji. Congratulations. Has anyone discovered the Norman Piper emoji yet? Bit of a channel meme. Ashok says Armstrong to Hwang, good bench option for Antonio. I would just play Antonio, honestly. I would just play Armstrong to Hwang's not a bad transfer though, that's for sure. Would never say that's a bad move. 9 years says -4 next game week. Do you prefer Son and Tony or Kane and Jota? I probably prefer Son and Tony, actually. If I had to choose, I'd probably go for Son and Tony. People saying Benrahma just scored a brace. Are you really going to bench him? I would, yeah, I would. It's a game against Liverpool at the end of the day. And Benrahma, his stats in the Premier League have just been on a real downward trajectory. It's not looking really good. Dan7 says, love the content. What about Rodrigo? I would probably... do you want him on the list? Do you want Rodrigo on the list? I don't know. I don't think he'd be that high priority to play, to be honest. He'd probably be somewhere around the middle. Patrick Thomas Jr. says, would you really play Hwang above Rafinha? To statistically, Leicester defence worse than Crystal Palace. Yeah, but I do worry that Leicester's defence is kind of improving a little bit. And Crystal Palace is still a defence I see as a defence with a lot of holes in it, really. I do think that... Hwang is slightly above Rafinha, but to be honest, those are the 2 players that you should be playing every week. And if you're in a situation where you've got Hwang and Rafinha, it's like, and you're putting both of them on the bench. Why is your bench so strong? I mean, you kind of made your own grave there, and you have to bench points. You're forced to bench points because both Hwang and Rafinha, both really good chances of getting some FPL points. Obviously, Leeds are still kind of lacking a little bit there in their squad. So, yeah. Ikmal says, will there be any transfers tonight, Dan? Yes, there will. I've not made my transfers yet, so we will be doing those. Haroon says, hi, would you bench boost this week if you had Foster, Vardy, Livramento and Cancelo on your bench? No, I would not. I would just be playing for Vardy. I would be playing Cancelo. I would be dropping whoever's on your starting 11. Yeah, I mean, you could do a bench boost. I've seen a few people talk about bench boosts. I'm personally not going to be doing any bench boosts. Not even thinking about doing bench boosts until the double game weeks. The double game weeks are typically every single season the best opportunity for you to play your bench boost and to maximise the potency, the power of the bench boost chip. So yeah, for sure I would be waiting. I would not be using it so early. But yeah, I know a few people like the idea of using it now. I'm not going to completely talk you out of it. If you really feel like now is the time to bench boost, then go for it. But not for me. Haribo says, I don't know if your name is actually Haribo, I like to call you Haribo. Haribo says, hi Dan, can you elaborate why you play Cancelo above Rafinha? I am now playing Cancelo with Rafinha on the bench. Looks weird. Am I full of prunes? I don't know if you're full of prunes, Haribo. I think you're full of Haribo. I think, if I'm honest, I really find it difficult to drop Cancelo. I don't see why. Well, obviously Cancelo, I really feel strongly that he's going to play. I don't see why the Manchester City can't keep a clean sheet against Manchester United. And seeing Cancelo's how heavily involved he is in the creative play at Man City, particularly in the midweek game, was a good telltale sign of Cancelo's significance in this Man City team in terms of the creativity. So every single game week is an opportunity for Cancelo to haul, and I don't think there's, when you compare Cancelo to Rafinha, what's Rafinha's ceiling? Maybe he's not realistically going to get more than maybe 9 points or something like that. It's very rare that he goes on hauls. Cancelo, on the other hand, you can, in any given game week, you can see him getting a nice 15 pointer, can't you? You can see him getting somewhere around there. So that's why I'm never really too keen to bench Cancelo, and would always put him relatively high on any bench list. Simon, again, is asking about the bench boost. Again, not for me right now. I'd rather save it for those double game weeks later on in the season. But yeah, Anna Reich, my previous super chat was missed. I'm so sorry, man. Also, a different question. Jota for Rafinha for -4. No, I don't think so. Just stick with Rafinha for this week. I think you'll do fine with that. Yash says, is it worth to get James/Chilwell along with Tony at the expense of Antonio and White? Love the content. Hope you reach 100k soon. Thank you very much, Yash. To be honest, yeah. For those two transfers, when used in conjunction, the only reason I would sell Antonio if I could use the money immediately to really improve my team. And if you don't have James or Chilwell yet, and you kind of feel that you need to have James or Chilwell, and trust me, guys, you should feel like you should need James or Chilwell right now, then yes, I would do that transfer to get one of those two Chelsea fullbacks in, because they really are the key players to have in your fantasy team right now. Whether you go for James or Chilwell, I'm not exactly sure. I think in the short term, James looks good, but if you're thinking slightly longer term ahead, maybe Chilwell is your guy. So that's kind of what I'd be thinking there. Dabby Yang, thank you for the super sticker there as well, my friend. Really appreciate it. Of course, guys, I should say, whilst we have a break in Super Chats, if you haven't done already, please do subscribe to the channel. We are so close to 100,000 subscribers. In fact, let me check just how close we are, because, we are super close. How many more do we need? Oh my word. Okay, so we are 650 subscribers away from hitting 100,000. We're not realistically going to do it today. Well, I mean, it's possible. If a lot of people who are watching this video are not subscribed, then maybe it's possible, but I don't imagine that's the case. But overall, just going to be amazing to even get near to it, Sorry if I'm missing any super chats. They don't all come in. Danny, oh, here you go, Danny. I'm captaining Tony. Am I dumb? Yes, you are. No, I'm not going to say you're dumb. It's really risky. It's not a risk that I would do personally. But if that's something you'd like to do, then fair enough. I'm not going to try and talk you out of it, because it may pay off. But I will only ever advise to captain Salah in any given game week at the moment. Richie also came with a super chat, says, play one of Hwang, Antonio, Liver and Duffy. I would play Antonio out of those players. A few more super chats coming in now. Oh, racing in. Ahmed says, is Foden to Jota a good transfer this week? No, I'll probably stick with Foden, to be honest. I like the look of keeping Foden a little bit long term. And Afif says, hey Dan, oh, there's a lot of players. Who will you transfer out of all of these players, basically? And the answer is none, really. I like your whole team. I like your whole team, and I would not make any transfers whatsoever. Stick with them all. And thank you, Kyle, as well, for becoming a channel member. That's really appreciated, of course. So there we go. Of course, guys, if any early Southampton team news comes in, please do let me know, because again, I haven't made my transfers yet, and I will put my team up on screen. I know a few of you guys have asked for me to put my team on screen. Is it going to log me out of FPL, as it seems to do very, very frequently? Seems to always want to refresh itself. No, here we go. That's fine. FPL Mate. BSKA Moscow. Here we are. Yeah, so here's my team, guys, for those of you who are asking to kind of see how I'm lining up. Again, I've still got my 2 transfers. The planned transfer is to do Armstrong to Broja. I think that's the sensible move, because I like my whole team. I don't really want to rip my whole team up, to be honest. I feel like I've got a little bit of Spurs cover. I've got a little bit of Brentford cover, and I've got my Chelsea cover, and I get to keep Antonio. And I get a pretty strong bench as well. Livramento versus Duffy is going to be a tough decision, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay. Simon Ho says, should I transfer out Grealish? I think you should, yeah. Should we? I'm sure I've seen already, guys. The questions about benchings are coming back in again. It started. The bench chat has already begun again. So why don't we get the bench list back up? And I think we add Tierney to the list, because a few people have asked about Tierney as well. So we'll do that. Make this a little bit smaller first and foremost. Where would I put Tierney in this list? I'll probably just slightly above White, I guess. Actually, would I? It's a good fixture. No, actually, I would put him a little bit higher. I'd put him up here, maybe. There you go. There we go. Paredes says, where would Odsonne Edouard feature on the list? Where would Edouard fit on the list? Not too high, but not somewhere. He'd be somewhere in the middle. I'd probably put him. I would put him above Gallagher. I put Edouard about there. William says, thinking about Laporta to Reguilon. It's a risky move going for Reguilon before Conte's been at the club for too long, but you could do it. Yeah, I mean, if you can do Reguilon, it depends who you've got on your bench, to be honest. If you've got like a Livramento or a Duffy or someone on your bench anyway, then I wouldn't do it. If you don't, maybe Laporte to Reguilon this week could actually be pretty good, and just do it this week and then save that second transfer doing Saka to Son and do that next week instead. That would be pretty good. Pretty good moves there. Kyle says Christensen and Antonio for Tony and James -4. Not sure I'd do it for a -4, but again, it is important to try and get these Chelsea fullbacks in. Would I do that for a -4? Probably not, no. Piyush says Vardy and Armstrong to Kane and Broja for a -4 hit. No, I don't think you need to do that. No, I don't think you need to do that. So stick with what you got there. Havertz to Son, thoughts? I'm thinking about Havertz to Son. I am going to be waiting one more week before we pull the trigger on that particular transfer. So yeah, we're going to leave that one for now. But yeah, someone said about maybe putting another player on the bench list. I can't find it now. I think it was a pretty good one though. Someone says, please explain why. Oh, I've lost it. Lots of chats coming in today, guys. I've got a chat from Ben here that says, hi mate, bench 2. Oh well, bench 2, Ben. We might be able to help you there. Well, let's have a look for these players. So Cancelo, he's pretty high. Rudiger's not on the list. But I think you would play Rudiger as well. I think Rudiger would be pretty high either way. I mean, he'd be what? Rudiger would be what here? Let's make sure we've got the umlaut. Oh, I've underlined as well as umlauted, so we are messing this up already. Right. Rudiger. Rudiger would go there. Sorry, Ben, we will get through this. Regulon. Oh my god, you've got so many players that aren't on this list. Regulon, you would be going probably under Azpilicueta for me. I think it's a little bit too early. And he has got a... Oh no, he's got a... one of them on the O. So let's make sure that. So Regulon will be there. Antonio, Saka. Havertz you've got to play with no matter what. That's not really comes into question. So bench 2, we are at really Livramento, and I don't know who else you've got there who's on the list. Wow, you've got to bench 2 out of all of those. Definitely bench Livramento. The rest is a bit of a coin toss. Maybe you can figure it out from the bench list, but I'm gonna have to move on to different to other messages, I'm afraid. That's why I did the bench list, to try and cut down on these complicated questions, to try and help you out a little bit easier. Neil Onyango, thank you for becoming a member. I think you were a member before, so thank you for joining in again. Dabby Yang says, start out, Smith Rowe in. I hope it's worth it, Dan. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me, mate. That does sound like a nice little transfer. I do like it. Abbas says, ESR or Gallagher for Rafinha? No, I don't think so. I would just leave things as they are. People want to know, will Armstrong play? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I wish I knew. Why is Duffy so low on my list? It's because Duffy is a bench player, really. And the reason he's low on my list is because I've basically filled up the top with players that, well, I mean, to me, are really obvious that you should just be playing anyway. But a lot of people are asking about so many of these players higher up on the list, whether they should play them a lot. You're not going to have a lot of these players, so... Even though maybe Duffy looks like he's low on the list, in real terms, he's probably not that low, because you're going to have more of the players at the bottom than you will at the top. Is Mount definitely out? The last I heard, he is out, yes. Unless something's changed. So I think he's got a problem. Has he got a problem with his tooth or something? Wisdom teeth? He's got problems with his wisdom teeth or something. Unless I've made that up. FPL Jab says Cristiano Ronaldo and Gray out for Jota and Tony, or Kane and Mbumo. I prefer Kane and Mbumo, I think. Friendly Bane, thank you for becoming a member. Felipe says, what's up, bro? Thinking forward next game week, what do you think about Tyrick Mitchell or Lamptey for Diaz and Saka to Jota for -4? Not really keen on it. I'm not really sure I'd want to be jumping on Mitchell or Lamptey at this present stage. It's not quite the right time. Not the right fixtures. Not really the right. Well, it's a little bit risky, you know. Danny Clough says Armstrong Defo starting in warm up with team. Broya with subs. I'm at St Mary's now. I don't know how true that is. FPL Felix says Mount's available in FPL, was in training yesterday. Well, I mean, unless all I'm going was something I saw on Twitter, that he had problems with his wisdom teeth. Let's I'll double check that now on my phone. Let's see if I can find it again. Yeah, okay, yeah, he's doubtful apparently. He's doubtful. So yeah, I wouldn't hold your hopes up too much on Mount, to be honest. But if he plays, he plays. But you know, it's not a player we're expecting to play. Here we go. FPL Phillips says, quote from Tuchel regarding Mount: he's in the squad for tomorrow, can play some minutes. That doesn't sound too encouraging to me. He can play some minutes. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going to try and see if we can get any information on a Southampton lineup, guys. Mods, if you are about, would you mind kindly muting the emoji spam people in the chat, because it's getting a little bit difficult to read some messages. Okay, so Southampton team. Any news here? Of course, if anyone finds some news, and if you follow me on Twitter, you can send me any team news regarding Southampton. That would be absolutely amazing, because if it does turn out that Armstrong is starting, which is a good chance he is, then maybe I do keep him in my team. So we'll see. Ryan Hickey says Duffy or Rafinha, and -4 to put in Kane for Vardy. No, I just keep Vardy for now. I don't think you need to rush that. I would play Rafinha over Duffy as well. Would you transfer out Azpilicueta for James or Roll? I think I would make that transfer. I'd do Azpilicueta to James. I quite like it. It's okay. We've got a few mods in the chat I think today who are usually, well, always incredibly helpful. So thank you so much to the help of the mods. Someone asked when the deadline is. We've got 33 minutes. Sorry, I am catching up on super chats here. Balin Darjit says knee-jerk Vardy to Kane after watching the game against Vitesse. Still got one transfer with Armstrong in the team. Regrets, my friend suggests. Well, yeah, I would have personally kept Vardy for one more game week against Leeds, but you know, long term that's not going to be a transfer you regret long term. I don't think so. It's not the end of the world. Don't worry about it too much. It could pay off as well. You never know. Hey, Evangelos, thank you for becoming a member as well. Still trying to keep an eye on some out for some Southampton news because I think that is kind of what we've been looking for. Velocity says Bernardo thoughts. Yeah, he's not a bad player. He's not a player I'd buy. Probably not a player I'd sell. So yeah, a few people in the chat as always calling me Andy. If you're looking for Let's Talk FPL, you're on the wrong channel. This is FPL Mate. My name is Dan. Happens every stream. People getting confused. Where are we? Sophie Watts says, I missed the list last week and had 20 points on my bench. That is why the bench list is so important. It is so important. I'm just leaving it up on screen. Any word on Everton players? They aren't that bad, are they? From Euros? They are that bad. Can I add more pay to the list? Regulars of the channel who know me very well, where do you suppose I might put more pay on this list? If you are a regular to the channel, let me know where you think I would probably put more pay on the list. David says, Cancelo for Regulon. I have 2 free transfers planning for Son. Yeah, nice. Yeah, 2 free transfers planning for Son is always good. I don't know if I would rush the Cancelo to Regulon move this week necessarily. I am keen on looking at Regulon, and I am genuinely thinking about potentially doing Cancelo to Regulon next week, but I do want to wait and see one week of Premier League action and get a little bit of I want a little bit of confidence to go for that transfer because it is a slightly risky one in a way. Balin Darjit says, where's the apple juice? No apple juice today. We're back on the blackcurrant squash. This is where it goes. A few people have put on the chat where they thought that I would put more pay, and you are absolutely correct. He's going right there. The troll, the evil man who hates my FPL team, he can stay at the bottom of the list permanently. Count Sealor says more pay should be at the top. You're chatting out of your butt. Asma says, who to captain this week? Captain Salah. When in doubt, Captain Salah. By the way, guys, this bench list, I'm going to get things wrong, by the way. This is just a list of what I would personally do. And obviously, as I add more players, it gets a little bit more messy. So don't expect 100% results, but use it as a very rough guide. You know, if you've got a player who is really high on the list and you've got another player who's really low on the list, then that's probably a good indication that you should play the player who's high on the list and bench the player on low on the list. If they're they're like the two players are next to each other that you have the dilemma for, or only like a couple of places apart, then there is definitely some arguments to be had there. So yeah, for sure. Yeah, I completely understand. More pay between Armstrong and Broja? I don't think so. More pay is going to be sitting right at the bottom. Someone said add Trossard. We can add Trossard, to be honest, because I know a few people do have him. Brighton, of course, played Newcastle, so it's a good fixture. So I think I would have to put him pretty high. I think, yeah, if in all honesty, I'm not really confident about bumping Cancelo down. That's the only thing. And Rafinha. And there's some players up the top end here that I actually really like. But I guess if I had Trossard, would be a really good fixture for him, and therefore I'm going to have to put him pretty high. I would probably put him here. That's probably got to be it. A couple of new members there as well. Thank you very much for joining the channel. If you are new around here, joining the channel. I do appreciate it. Enjoy the emojis, of course. A few people saying, show the team! FFS, show the goddamn team. I'm here to see the team, not the list. Oh, dude, can you imagine continuously expanding that list? Yeah, I mean, yeah, imagine the list could go on forever. I'll put my team up and then I'm going to answer a few more questions. So Steve says, I have 2 free transfers, Havertz, Foden and Antonio out for Son, Jota and Tony, or do Rafinha and Son in for Havertz and Foden? I have Kane. Ooh, I would keep Antonio and I wouldn't rush Foden out either. And I want to, honestly, all of those players, I would want to keep Havertz, Foden and Antonio. I know you think you need to use those transfers. Maybe just use one of them. Maybe use it elsewhere in your team, because I am really not too keen on selling those players. Not this game week anyway. So if you can last one more week without pulling the trigger on these transfers, I definitely would. Michelle says to bench from Foden, Mount and Duffy if Mount plays. Mount's not going to play. If he plays, you play a few minutes, I guess. Foden, you've got to play. Duffy, I'd probably put ahead of Mount at this present moment. We've got a problem. A problem occurred loading this webpage. Team is coming, guys. Don't worry. Team's coming. See, as soon as I take... This is why I'm not showing my team. Because as soon as I take the page off the bench list, people start asking questions who they should bench. And it becomes all bench conversations again. Which is what these streams are, really. The bench streams. Maybe I should just rename them from deadline streams to bench streams. Well, unfortunately, FPL, the website, doesn't seem to want to work on me. So, maybe we'll... Oh, here we go. It's working. There you go, guys. That's the current situation. If I find out that Armstrong is playing, then I probably do put him in ahead of Duffy. But I'm yet to find any information about Southampton teams. And, yeah, I'm really not sure. Unless someone else has got anything. Madman Marketing says, White or Cancelo, who to start this week? I would start Cancelo ahead of White. Just because he's Cancelo, really. Yeah, still nothing on my Twitter timeline about Southampton. Lots of messages are flying in. I'm going to be lagging here, aren't I? Yeah, I feel like priority kind of has to be finding out some Southampton team news. Can we get some? Still nothing. Maybe I'll wait another 10 minutes to see if we can find anything else out. Yeah, we'll hopefully find some stuff soon. Yeah, we'll come back to that in 10 minutes. If Armstrong plays, which transfer will you do? If Armstrong plays, then I honestly may even just not make a transfer and just literally burn a transfer, genuinely. No, I think if I was to do that, I would maybe do Cancelo to Reguilon. It's not a move I particularly really want to make, though. Or maybe I'd use that as an excuse to do Antonio to Tony. Or maybe I'd take Duffy down to a cheaper player or something like that. I would honestly be really stuck. If Armstrong and Broja are both playing, though, however, then I would still make the transfer for Broja. Yeah, if I get no team news, I'll still do Armstrong to Broja, because it's not just about picking a player that I want to play. I mean, as things stand, Armstrong's on my bench anyway, so it's not like I get the points from him. This is assuming no team news. What you see in front of you is assuming no team news. So it's not just about, what points am I going to have this week. It's about the fact that Armstrong is becoming this exact headache every single week. A headache that, quite frankly, I don't really want. I don't really want this headache right now. So I want to just cut that headache out of my life and go for a player who is a lot cheaper and therefore gives me far less headache. And freeing up that money also allows me to move Havertz to Son next week as well, using 2 transfers. So that transfer would have to be either... Well, I'd have to downgrade one of Cancelo and Antonio, and I'm not sure who I would do out of those 2. So we'll see. Maybe it means that in reality, maybe I'd actually do Antonio to Tony this week and just bite the bullet on that one. I'm really tempted to do that. Really, really tempted to that one. People want the list back on. Don't worry, guys. I'm not panicking or anything. I kind of know. I know what I'm doing. Well, I say I know what I'm doing. I'm waiting for information to decide what I'm doing. I think if I'm going to commit to making, well, if I find out that Armstrong isn't playing, it's very easy. If I find out that he is playing for sure, then that makes things a little bit harder. And in that situation, that's when I would maybe do Antonio to Tony. That would be the point that I would do that. I don't know. How about Armstrong to Huang for you, Dan? I mean, yeah, but the problem is with that is, yes, it improves my team, but it doesn't really it doesn't really do what I want. And what I want is to save a bit of money and start banking a little bit of money for the potential to make a Son move. So I need to bank a little bit of money, and Armstrong is a really easy player to take some money out of. Really, really easy, because he's causing me so many problems already. He's a player I'd like to downgrade rather than, switch to Huang, who is a player, again, I'd quite like to play most weeks, but is about the same price. So I've not saved any money. I've not served the purpose. Apparently, FPL Steve has said Mount is very unlikely to play. He's usually pretty reliable. Yeah, he knows his stuff about Chelsea. I mean, it's all predictions at this point. But yeah, I personally am not convinced by Mount either. Where did Morpay go? I swear I put him at the bottom of the list here. Was he's so low, he's dropped to the next page. Let's just make the text smaller. Oh, that is very small. You know what? Mount and Morpay are very cheekily the wrong font size. How cheeky of them. Oh, I'm opening. Oh God, hang on. Sorry, I'm clicking all over the place, and that's going to make a weird noise. There you go. Hopefully that's going to help out a little bit, guys. So a few more chats. As McCann says, Antonio to Tony and Smith Rowe for Saka for free. No, I don't really like that too much. Maybe just Saka to Smith Rowe, but I don't think you're saying that. So yeah, I don't really like those transfers. And Nick Giordano says, I have 2 free transfers. We'll use just one. Who to get in for Mount? Jota, Son. If you can do Mount to Son, then do that for sure. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. People talking about taking Rudiger to a Chilwell or someone. Yeah, I don't know. Chats are flying in. Sorry guys if I can't catch up with all of your messages. There's so many coming in that I can't even read them before they all move off the screen. It's quite crazy. DRBSN says, would you go Mbumo and Vardy to Tony and Son for a -4? No, I wouldn't. No, I'd rather have Mbumo and Vardy this week than Tony and Son. I think just about. There's not much in it. Certainly wouldn't be taking a -4 for it. I mean, you could save the transfers and do it for free next week. That's kind of what you probably want to be doing. That could be a really nice move, to be fair. Guys, of course, if you're asking bench-related questions, please consult the bench list. It is there for your aid. Hopefully it's going to help out. All right, let's check again to see if we can get any updates on Southampton news. Because I'm getting very little here. Matt West says Mbumo or ESR. Already got Tony. Mbumo or ESR. I would play Mbumo. Double up, why not? going to just keep continually searching for Southampton news just in case I can get anything for you guys. Sorry if it means that I'm not really engaging too much with the chat, but it is pretty important because it is going to, like I say, I've not made a transfer move, so this is going to impact my decision. Still can't find anything. Yeah, we got nothing. Hey Dan, did Armstrong to Broja and left me 1.7 in the bank. Very nice. Got one free transfer left. Would you Vardy to Kane this week or roll the free transfers and do Havertz to Son? I would roll the transfer and do Havertz to Son next week, I think. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. Shall we, hang on, if I just go back to my team. So I'll just go to the transfer page so I'm at least ready and prepared. I don't want to make a transfer too last minute. But I'll just get ready to pull the trigger on this one. Because it is the one move that I'm pretty keen to make. So I'm not going to pull the trigger on that yet, guys. But I'll put that there ready to go. Put the bench list back on for your benefit. Few people asking about differential captains. Yeah, I'm really not going to recommend captains other than Salah. If you do fancy a differential, I've seen a few mentioned, but they're not really players I'd be recommending too thoroughly. So yeah, if you've got the likes of Vardy or I don't know, maybe a Chelsea defender, Reece James, Chilwell, I get it. I get why you captain them. If you have Son or Kane, I get why you captain them. Captaining them, but it's not something I would want to be doing, really, personally, I'm afraid. So, yeah, Kyle says, best quality FPL content out there, mate. I hope so. I'll do my best. Things can always be improved, though. But yeah, in terms of captains, I think if you are in a conundrum, just stick with Salah. If you're not sure, stick with Salah. If you feel very strongly about a differential, then go for it. Neil here says Rafinha to Mbeumo, Antonio to Tony, or none. I mean, you could just do Rafinha to Mbeumo. I don't think that's a terrible transfer, to be fair. It's risky in a way because Rafinha could still do well, but excuse me, guys. But Rafinha to Mbeumo is certainly not a bad transfer. It's certainly something I would be. I certainly would be considering that as a move. Particularly if I didn't have Tony. Sahil says thoughts on captaining Aubameyang. If you want to captain Aubameyang, again, there's another one of those players where if you want to do it, you can. But I'm struggling here to endorse it. It could pay off. It could really, really not pay off. So, yeah. People still asking about who you should play out of this player and that player. Look on the list. If they're high on the list, play them. If they're not, don't play him. Let's put Alexander-Arnold here because I actually, weirdly, I don't know why, I've seen a few people asking whether they should play Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think you absolutely have to play him. Where does Christensen place on your list? Probably lowish because the thing is, if he doesn't play, well, he's got a really good chance of a clean sheet. But if he doesn't play, you know, he probably goes here. It's not that. It's Christensen, isn't it? It's Christensen. I'm messing this up. Why does that not look right? Why have I forgotten how to spell Christensen? See, this is why you don't do things type and stream at the same time because is there no H? Of course, there's a H. You know what? I'm going to leave it like that. It doesn't look right. It really doesn't look right. I probably messed that up. I'm sure you guys in the chat will try and correct me, but for some reason I've drawn a blank on how to spell Christensen. I don't know why. I'm having one of those moments. See, so getting so close to the deadline, my brain's gone. Duncan, thank you very much for the super sticker there. Really appreciate that. And David says bench 2, Duffy and Mbeumo, Saka, Antonio, Hwang or Rafinha. We've got a couple new Gunners as well there. Again, to the bench list. So that would be if you had to bench 2, and you're doing it via the because it's not Christian, it's Christensen. That's what I'm doing wrong because I've put an extra I in there. There we go. Cheers, guys. Not dumb moment. Okay, so David, for your question, I would be benching Duffy and maybe so let's have a look at the list. Duffy and Saka, I think. Yeah, Duffy and Saka. Luke, thank you very much for becoming a member. I think you've been a member before, but thank you for becoming a member again. It's always appreciated. Madmen again says, seen the list, but it's so close between White or Ben Rama. Who to start considering? Ben Rama scores with bigger teams. I mean, yeah, if you disagree with the list, then you don't have to follow what I'm saying. But I don't have all the answers. I really don't. I know it's just, sometimes it seems like everything I touch turns to gold, which has been just me getting a lot of fortune this season. But a lot of things I do get wrong. I got it wrong with Armstrong so far. I've got it wrong with Harry Kane. Although there was a bigger plan at stake there. I got it wrong with Mahrez a couple of weeks ago. I'm not going to get everything right. So if you disagree with me, then please do disagree with me. I don't have all the answers, unfortunately. All I can do is give my best opinion to the best of my ability, but it's not always going to be worth everything, right? So, yeah. Shall we have another look for some team news? I think I should have another look. Got nothing. Where would Tony be on the list? Play Tony. Oh, my word. He's against Norwich. I don't know. Honestly, why I'm putting players like Alexander-Arnold, Vardy and Bumo, Tony, Jimenez on this list is quite... it's just beyond me. You guys should know to play these players, right? Really need some team news, guys. I've got 11 minutes till deadline, and I've got no early team news, no even indications. I'll take a rumour at this point, just to try and convince me. I know I've probably missed a few super chats here as well while staring at my phone. I have. Sahil says bank free transfer or use it to replace Azpilicueta with Chilwell. I would replace Azpilicueta with Chilwell. Jason says he has 2 free transfers. Rudiger and start out. James and Smith Rowe in. Yes, like it. Or Sam Maximan for Tony. I also like Sam Maximan for Tony. But yeah, to be fair, Rudiger. Can you do? Can you just do maybe Sarter and Bumo? That might be a nice move. Matthew Vaughan says, would I be crazy to captain James? Talk me out of it. No, the upside of captaining James is super high. It could go so well for you. It could go really well. But if you are taking a huge risk. If you want to take that risk, Matthew, then absolutely crack on, mate. I fully support you in it. But it's not something I'm really interested in doing personally, but that's just talking from a personal level. You know, we're different people, so I'm not going to talk you out of it. If you want to do that, then you go for it, mate. Brace DeVille, thank you so much for the super chat. Just an appreciation, Dono, mate. Good luck this week. Thank you, man. I really am going to need it. 217 Legacy says, do I go 5-2-3 and have Livramento, or go 4-3-3 and have Gallagher in? I don't even worry about formations. People talk a lot about formations in FPL, and unless you're talking about structure, long-term structure, it doesn't really matter. It's just play the players you think will score the most points. And you know, Livramento or Gallagher is really your question. I don't know. I'll probably edge towards the attacker, go for Gallagher, but Livramento is also a really good player to have as well. Chris Frey says sub down, so keep Chilwell and Huang. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely keep Chilwell and Huang, even with the 2 free transfers. Yeah, keep those, man. Right, let's keep looking for that move, the news. See if anyone's got it. Someone's got to give me some early team news, please. Please, guys, I need to know. I'm getting nothing. Now, the good short-term move would probably just to be assume Armstrong's playing and downgrade Antonio to Tony. That would be a really good short-term move, but I don't want to just think too short-term. I just want some kind of... Yeah, sorry, I know I should be focusing on you guys. I mean, I'm live on stream, but I also do need to focus on my team a little bit here as well, because obviously we're playing FPL pretty competitively at the moment. Pretty competitively. Someone give me team news. I've got to find it. Still no one with anything. What we got here? Ikwan says, thoughts on transferring Antonio and Højbjerg for Tony and Mbumo? Yeah, I like it. I like it. As long as you're not taking a -4 for that, I like it. Yeah, Tony and Mbumo, really good shouts for this game week, but I would hurry up. Still nothing. This is Dan in meltdown mode. I'm in meltdown mode right now, trying to get some news. I mean, as soon as it hits 5 minutes, I think I've just got to send it, because the worst thing is if I FPL 50, have you made your transfers? I've still not made the transfers. No, I'm still desperately trying to find some last minute team news. I'm going to be making the transfers within the next 2 minutes. If anyone's got anything for me, then please send it my way, because I'm just refreshing at the moment. Just refreshing. This is the priority. Okay, so a few people are now saying Armstrong is starting, but I mean, gonna need a bit more than that, guys. Gonna need a bit more. Need to have something concrete. So yeah, and I've not got anything concrete. Chris Frey says, sorry, but can't transfer out Moda or Brownhill. Have 2.3 in the bank, so can't upgrade either. Oh, transfer out Moda or Brownhill. Probably Moda, I'd say. Yeah, we are really close, aren't we? I don't think we could get team news at this point. Might have to just take the plunge. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, a few people saying that Armstrong starts. Have you got any evidence for this? If you've got any evidence whatsoever where I can look to find this out, then by all means. But I've got nothing. I can't just trust. It's one football prediction. Okay, well, yeah. I mean, that's not too much use to us, is it? Call the coach. Yeah, I need Ralph Hasenhüttl's number on my phone. That's what I need. Right. Yeah, we're not getting anything, are we? All right. I think I'm just gonna hover over the make transfer button. Oh well. Okay. That's a little bit disappointing. I did want to get the news first, but it looks like we are just gonna have to make this transfer. Because it doesn't look like we're getting anything. We're too close. We are too close to call at this point. Let's just hover over this. Make transfer. Armstrong to Baroya. We're going to bench him either way. And we're just not going to worry about it. And just remember, guys, that this is all part of a long-term plan. So even if it doesn't pay off this game week, it's all part of the long-term strategy. And playing the long game, That is what this transfer move was always about, getting rid of the Armstrong headache, and at least the headache will be gone. That is at least what's happening. Yeah, we ain't getting the news. We ain't getting the news, guys. But yeah, hopefully, I mean, I've not neglected you guys too much, but you know, I do really have to. Prioritise my own team when we're this close to the deadline. I haven't made my transfers. Other weeks I've already made my transfers, so it's not a problem. But yeah, I do need to prioritise my own team here. So okay, let's lock it in. Let's lock it in. It's far too close to the deadline to be messing about. It's tough, but got to do it. Armstrong out, Broja in. It's done. We're going to put Broja second on the bench, so he wouldn't even be seeing points anyway. That's fine. No problem. 1 transfer made. We've got 2 transfers for next game week. Let's see what happens. Maybe just for funsies, we just put Broja there just in case anything magical happens. Or do I? No, I won't. No, we're going to put Livermento there. No, I can't. You have to back Livermento. He's just a beast, isn't he? Yeah, I'm not gonna do Huang or anything like that. That's not gonna happen. Yeah, because part of the reason for doing this is not just trying to improve my team. It's about a longer term strategy of trying to collect a bit of money in order to make a Havertz to Son upgrade in next game week. But there we go. Last minute decisions. Do I rush at Livermento in instead of Duffy? Do I? No, I don't. No, I don't. We're going to stick with Duffy ahead of Livermento, I think. Yeah. Let's see what happens there. I mean, you never know. Even if Livermento does really well, Duffy might not even start this game week, so... Or someone else might get back benched. You know, there's always the odd benching, isn't there, in any given week in FPL. But we're done. I'm locked in. Let's just make sure my captain's correct. Yes, Salah, vice captain Kane for funsies. Why not? In fact, let's put the vice captain on Reece James because actually, technically, I do quite like him as a as a risky punt. But I would not be brave enough to go in for my main captain anyway. So there we go. There we go, guys. Yeah, any of you asking for last minute opinions on what you guys should be doing, it's too late. It's too late. You should not be leaving these decisions to 1 minute. I mean, I speak for myself. You should not be seeking advice at 1 minute. Fair enough, do the move at the last minute, but you shouldn't be still wondering what to do unless you're waiting for information. I can't give you any information. All I can give is an opinion. But there we go. It looks like, for you guys at least, the time is up. The deadline has passed. We are locked in. So guys, congratulations on making it through another stressful deadline. Maybe you're not feeling as much stress as I am, but maybe you are. Maybe you're feeling the stress like I am. Honestly, this has been the most stressful deadline I've probably ever had. Just because I'm just not used to being at this rank. It's really quite crazy. So, whatever. It's I'm not actually that confident about my team this week. I'm not expecting to get any mega points this week, but I'm still really confident about my long-term strategy here. So, yeah, it's all good. And, you know, even if, you know, Felipe says Armstrong bracing coming, honestly, even if it happened, you know, all I can do is make the best moves that I think of for my team now and for the long term. And if I've got no guarantees that Armstrong plays, then I have to judge the decision, not the outcome. I was never, even if Armstrong ends up playing, even if I didn't make any transfer this game week, I still would have benched Armstrong anyway. So I'm not going to be saying, oh, I wish I had Armstrong because he scored those points. If he does score those points, I'm not going to think that way because I was never going to play him anyway. The only way I would ever play Armstrong would be if I had confirmation that he was starting, and I can't get that. So, all in all, it's not bad. It's not bad. There's no bad feelings, and you know what? I've got rid of the Armstrong headache for good. He's gone. It's gone. As long as I can I've just got to try and stay in top 100. Let's see. But oh well. There we go, guys. Right, I am going to dip off now because I know for a fact if Armstrong does end up starting, I'll have a load of people just coming into the chat saying, "Oh, Armstrong's going to start. Oh, Dan in the mud." I'm not in the mud. Like I say, it's all part of a long-term strategy. I needed to get rid of someone. I had to use a transfer. It's fine. Long-term strategy is more important to me than punting on Armstrong for just one game week, and that's what it would have been because he'd be moving on next game week either way for part of some of the transfer moves I'm playing in the future. So not worth it for a 1 week punt, keeping him when I've got players like Duffy who can play instead. Who else would I be dropping? Maybe Antonio. I can play Antonio instead. I like my team. I'm happy. So there we go, guys. There we go. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we can stay inside the top 100. Let's see if we get green arrows, red arrows. It's all very exciting. I'm more interested in how I do long term because this week it's not been a big moves for me this week. Next week I'll have 2 transfers to spend. That's when we'll start making some nice big moves again and try and be a bit creative and maverick with our move forward. So that's really exciting. I'm not going to stay on as well because I do have some errands to run. Some of you guys will know that I am indeed getting married next weekend. So I do have some jobs and bits and bobs to do before then. So yeah, I'm going to try and do some of that before the football. But that's pretty much it for me, guys, today. Make sure you like the stream before you disappear. Make sure you've subscribed if you haven't done already. Let's do a quick check before we go. Quick check to see how many subscribers we're off 100,000. We must be kind of close. Oh my god, we are less than 500 subscribers away from the big 100,000. Insane. But there we go. Yeah, so make sure you subscribe before you go. But yeah, aside from that, guys, just good luck for this game week. I hope you all smash it. I hope you all stay below me in the table. But if you guys want to do really well, but just stay below me, then I'm pretty happy. Right? But there we go, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining me. Please do join me over on Twitter where we'll be talking about the football non-stop. As we always do. But aside from that, guys, yeah. Thanks once again for watching, and I will see you later, mates. Bye-bye.